One of the greatest games of all time has just received a fantastic update for 2018. Here's my review of Tetris Effect on the PS4.
Team Canada.
What's going on, guys? SeeJayAre here today with a review of Tetris Effect on the PS4. Big thanks to Enhanced Games for sending out the review copy to me so I could bring you guys this video. This game was developed by a Japanese studio called SeeJayAre and directed by Tetsuya Mizuguchi, who's known for games like Rez, Lumines, and the underrated Child of Eden. So when I heard that Mizuguchi was taking on Tetris at E3 this year, I was pretty excited for this game. Tetris is one of the greatest games of all time. I think it's sold more than any other game in history. Now, there have been several different variations of Tetris over the past few decades. Some good, some not so good. But I can safely say that Tetris Effect is definitely worth your money. The main mode in this game is called Journey Mode, which acts as your story mode. And then there's also effect modes, which are a whole bunch of different variations of classic Tetris. So in the Journey Mode, it's basically broken up into sections. Each section contains 4 levels, and each one of those levels features its own unique aesthetic and music. The visuals and music in this game, much like Mizuguchi's other games, are absolutely fantastic. Put on your headphones, crank up your home stereo, turn down the lights, and this is a special experience. So in order to move on to a different section within the Journey Mode, you've got to complete the 4 levels within it. I played on the normal mode, which meant that I had to complete 36 lines before moving on to the next level. And like I said, each level is a kind of its own contained world. So now there's a new mechanic that's been added for Tetris Effect. It's called the zone, or the zone mode. Basically, as you build lines within your stack and get your meter up, your zone meter up, once it's full, or even if it's not full, you can trigger it with the R2 or L2 button, and basically it'll zoom in, slow down, and you're in the zone. Each line you clear while you're in the zone will drop to the bottom of the stack, and when your timer runs out, in the zone, that will disappear. So it's a great way to clear some space from the top of your stack if you're in trouble of failing the level, which I was constantly. But if you're an advanced player, it's a great way to kind of multiply your score and move up from like a D or C ranking to a B, A, or E if you're that good. Along with the zone, you're also able to save a piece by hitting the R1 or L1 button, which will hold a piece for you up in the upper left, which is where I usually hold my line while I build my stack and then drop for a Tetris. But that's a component that's been featured in several other games. There's a whole bunch of amazing visuals. The music and the beats are fantastic. You'll play through a segment. Once you get into certain segments of that segment, the tempo will pick up and lines will start dropping, and then sometimes it'll go back to kind of an easier pace. I really like the peaks and valleys that were featured in this game. I thought it was a fantastic way to kind of switch things up, and it's kind of like an emotional roller coaster as you play. It really is. For a puzzle game, that's pretty amazing. I really enjoyed my time with Journey Mode. I actually haven't completed it. I've gotten to the last level, which is pretty intense. It's longer. I think it's 3 times as long as the other levels. And I did really well on my first try and almost passed it on my first try, but I just haven't been able to complete that final level yet. So I haven't technically completed the Journey Mode. I think I've put into Journey Mode alone probably 5 hours just in that mode. So there's a lot of content there. If you want to start a beginner and move your way up to normal, then expert, you can do that. There's all kinds of leaderboards to strive for. You can always try and get your rank up. Most of mine I finished like a D. I just kind of barely got through them the first time through. So there's a lot of meat in the Journey Mode. I should quickly mention that you can actually play this game with the PSVR headset. Now, I don't have one, so I wasn't able to experience it, but from what I've seen online, some of the videos, it looks pretty amazing. I've played Resin VR, and it's a pretty special experience, and Tetris Effect seems to be more of the same. So the other half of the game is called Effect Mode, and within Effect Mode there are 10 to 12 different variations on classic Tetris. I'm going to highlight 3 of my favorite modes, starting with the All Clear mode, which is a mode that I played, similar mode in Puyo Puyo Tetris, where you've already got a stack built, and they've got almost a puzzle piece that you need to slot into the right spot. That will move, and then you need to slot the next one in. It kind of drops. You have to drop the single piece and fit it like kind of like a key, if that makes sense. But it was a mode that I really enjoyed in Puyo Puyo, and I was really happy to see it in Tetris Effect. Not an easy mode to play. Another mode that I really enjoyed is called Purify mode, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Dr. Mario. So basically the goal is to remove infected blocks from the stack, and as you remove them, your stack will lower. I had a lot of fun playing that mode, but my favorite mode in this game was the last mode that I played. I just kind of worked my way down the list of effect modes, and that is Mystery Mode. So I don't want to say too much about Mystery Mode. I want to leave it as a mystery for you guys. So basically Mystery Mode is classic Tetris, but you're being thrown curveballs left and right. Sometimes they will benefit you, but most of the time they will make the game a lot harder for you. I really enjoyed Mystery Mode, and I think it's a mode that's going to be really, really popular with people who pick this game up. And that being said, I do think that you should pick this game up. I think it retails for $40 US and $50 here in Canada. Pretty good price point. I know it's a little more expensive than your average Tetris game that you'll find in the PlayStation Store. Well worth the money. Once you play the first level and hear the beat and get into the zone, you'll know what I mean. It's really a special experience that I absolutely loved. Once again, thank you to Enhanced Games for sending out this early review copy. If you guys enjoyed this review, hit the like button, and until the next episode.